Okay, guys, so welcome to General Psychology. For most of you, this will be your very first psychology course, and that's always exciting to me because I get to have a hand in shaping how you think about my discipline and hopefully maybe even your discipline. You're going to be seeing me come from all different kinds of places, and right now it is in the evening and I am out on my screen porch. You're going to see lots of my life as you see these videos. So these are just orientation videos. There's going to be a couple of them, and this first one is really just to orient you to the syllabus. And so let's take a look at that. We click here, this is over on the left-hand toolbar where you'll find everything you need for the course. You'll see that there's two documents. One is our syllabus, one is a college policies document. That college policies document is just, I've pulled everything out that is the same for every course you take. So that you don't have to look at 12 pages of a syllabus, and our syllabus can just focus on what's unique to our course. So let's take a look at that together. And I'm going to open it here so we can look at it better. The beginning part of this should look very familiar. Our textbook, and hopefully you got my message about that, is an OpenStax textbook, which means it is free to you if you choose to use the PDF. You can also purchase a hard copy, and that's about $35, I think, for most of you. And that is worth it to have a hard copy in your hands, which might be useful for a lot of people. This LibGuide is also really useful. Please take a look at that. Liz Frechette in our library has put it together, and I think it'll be helpful, especially as you work on your required paper. And so let's come down here and focus on what you need to do to earn your grade. My philosophy about grading, especially with an intro course, is that there should be lots of little pieces that make up your grade. And you'll see that that is true here. We work on a 1,000-point grading system, and so you're working towards 1,000 points, which would be a perfect grade if you earned all of the points. Any extra credit points you earn just get put into that pile of points. What a 1,000-point system means is that regardless of how you do on any assignment, even if you normally would have earned a failing grade, you get to keep all of the points you earn. So let's say you got a 50 out of 100 on an exam. That wouldn't be great, but you still get your 50 points, as opposed to in a traditional grading system where that would be an F. You'd get no credit for the exam, and it would be as if you didn't show up. So you keep every point you earn here, and extra credit points just get put in the pile. It's not that you're going to get extra credit on an exam. You're going to get extra credit in that 1,000 points. So let's look at the pieces of this. 4 exams, each worth 100 points, which really comes out only to 10% of your grade. So any one exam is just a teeny bit of your grade, but that's 400 points total for exams. Those will be a combination of about 30 multiple choice questions, and not about 30 multiple choice questions that are 2 points each, and then 10 open-ended like paragraph long short essays that are 4 points each. And I actually, as I'm talking, realize I don't think I've put study guides up yet. I will, so I'll make some adjustments as I remember things that I should have put up here in the next 24 hours or so. So you'll get those. In addition, you're going to complete a written paper for me, and that written paper is going to ask you to find a peer-reviewed article to show me that you can do that, to read and understand the peer-reviewed article, another outcome that's important for your course here, and then to be able to think critically about research, all of which are important learning goals for you. That paper is 150 points, and you actually get 2 tries at that paper. Not 2 tries, but the first effort at that really only gets my comments back. So it shouldn't look like a sloppy copy, but it is a first draft or a first attempt. But it should look like a finished paper, and you'll get comments back, and then you'll have a week after you get my comments back to revise for a grade. We can talk more about this as it gets a little bit closer, but But that LibGuide that I pointed out earlier in the syllabus is going to be really useful for finding that peer-reviewed article. So you're also going to have online quizzes for each module. Those are 15 points each, sorry. We have 8 modules. That comes to 120 possible points for those online quizzes. Those quizzes are really an incentive to read and are really formative and not evaluative, which means that you can take those quizzes as many times as you want. Blackboard will record your highest grade, and so it's an opportunity for you to learn the material as opposed to a test to find out if you learned it. You don't want to skip those quizzes though. 120 points is a lot of points, so make sure that you do those. There's a required discussion for each module, and so 8 discussions total over the course of the class. There's a grading rubric online that you'll see for those, and so 20 points each, or 160 points. Some of those are small group discussions where you'll be engaged with fewer than 10 of your classmates, and some of them are whole class discussions. For each of those, you need to both submit your own ideas in response to whatever the assignment or prompt is, and also engage with your classmates in meaningful ways. So make sure you take a look at that rubric. There's also a live discussion, as you may have already seen if you looked at this syllabus already. There's a live discussion twice a week on Mondays and Wednesdays. We'll use WebEx for that. I'll provide the links for those. And you earn up to 20 points for your participation in that discussion. By participation, I'm really going to strongly encourage everyone to turn their video on. It's hard to see you as a participant if I can't see you. And I just see a box with your name or initials in it. So to get points for that, video being on allows me to see that you're engaged, even if you're not being very verbal. So not everyone wants to talk, but if your video's on, I can see that you're engaged, and that counts the same way it would if you were sitting in class and visibly engaged. Obviously, if you participate by taking part in discussion, then that's another way of getting those points. If you can't make those live discussions, either ever because of the schedule or your technology, or if you can't make some of them, that's fine. There's always the alternative, an optional alternative to participate in what I call a muddiest point discussion board on Blackboard. And that is you raising questions about the material for the chapter and also trying to answer the questions of classmates. But you need to do one or the other. I encourage all of you to do the live discussions if you can. I think they'll be very productive and helpful, but you have to do one or the other of these or you lose that 20 points for the module. Okay, so I'll remind you about those, but make sure you remember that. There's also going to be extra credit opportunities as we go through, as I said before, starting with the very first module. If you miss an exam during the semester, you will have time to take that in the last couple of days of our course. And late papers can be handed in late for a reduced grade. But the module discussions can't be done late. And the quizzes won't be accepted late either, since they're meant to get you to learn the material before we get to the discussion. So once you've had the discussion, they won't be available to you anymore. And you can't get grades for the discussions if you don't participate in them, simply because they're not meaningful anymore. You can't have a discussion by yourself and have it be meaningful. So you need to make sure, and this is a good point to remind you, we are in a 4-week course. It moves fast. It moves really fast. And so we are covering about 2 chapters a week. During that time, there is not time for you to take a break. There is not time for you to tell me that you are going to be busy for a week. That you really need to be on this course every day to make it work for you. And so, make sure you look at your calendar now. I would, my best advice would be pick a time of day every day that is about your course. And, maybe you want to make that the time, some of those at least the times of our live discussions, but pick a consistent time every day when you're going to log on to the course and get some work done. At the very least, you will have discussions you need to be actively engaged in every day. So make sure that you do that. So let's come down here. Right, so we're going to have our live discussions on Mondays and Wednesdays, as you can see on here. And we're, so things open on a Monday, usually a Wednesday or a Sunday. And so you can see we've got some modules that go Wednesday to Monday, and some modules that go Sunday to Wednesday. And so you have work due. So the syllabus shows you like when it starts and when it ends. The detailed module page that we'll look at together in the next video will show you exactly what to do between those dates. You can see our syllabus shows you when the exams are, when you have an article to submit for your paper, when your first paper is due, right? So make sure you have a copy of this saved someplace, or print out a copy so that you have all of that. So we're going to stop here, and we're going to pick up at the next video with an orientation to the structure of Blackboard and how things are going to work for us. Okay.